Hey guys, and we're live again. Here we are. So in this week's show, we're going to talk about the death of Windows 7, some Valentine's ideas for the technically challenged, the channel news, what's going on with us, and what you can look forward to next week. So stay tuned. It's going to be a great show. Let's get it started. Hey guys, so we're back live again on another Wednesday evening. Welcome to the show. I'm Rupert. I'm going to be with you for the next, a little while anyway. And we're going to start off with the death of Windows 7 this week. We've had Windows 7 in our lives for many years now. And I believe it was the 20th of January where support ended, which means that anyone with Windows 7 should now really be looking at moving on to Windows 10. To be honest, I've been using Windows 10 now for the best part of 5 years, right from the very early beta release when it came out. It's a fantastic operating system. It is so much more advanced than Windows 7. I don't know what the hold-up is. A lot of people, I've found it with IT support, a lot of people are hanging back and not upgrading. But there's just no reason. Windows 10 is so good, and you even... There's something going on that Microsoft haven't told anybody about, which is that all the Windows... When Windows 10 first came out, Microsoft decided that they would offer it as a free upgrade to anybody running Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 7 and Windows 8. And as such, now that support has ended, what people don't realise is that the Windows 7 or 8 key on their systems, which is stuck to the case, it's on top of all systems, most systems, that key will actually work with Windows 10, but it'll only work once. So what I've been advising people to do is to take the opportunity and actually upgrade the PC at the same time. And when they upgrade it, you can put in, as long as you keep the essence of the computer the same, you can upgrade the system and install Windows 10 and use the Windows 7 key that's on the system and take advantage of your free upgrade. Saves you about 120 quid, so it's well worth doing. So yeah, I'm going to miss Windows 7. I've dealt with it for longer than I care to remember, to be honest. Had some good times and some bad with it. Along with Windows 7, we're also losing Windows Server, or Windows SPS product. That actually left support as well. So if you've got Windows SPS servers in place, really, you need to be moving on and getting together with the latest kit, which is going to be better for you anyway, because a lot of the new iPhones and things are struggling to work with the older SPS products. You have to do quite a bit of fiddling to get... I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the iPhone X I had to connect up to an SPS server. And that kind of shows you the thought process of some people, that they've got the latest iPhone, which is effectively going to cost them 1,000 quid or more, and yet they don't want to spend that on server software for the back end of it. So they're quite happy to run their business on old software as long as they've got the latest gadget in their hand. And it does make you wonder sometimes, especially when you've got your whole business reliant on that software to be up to date, running, reliable, safe with regard to security. And yet they're not interested. They're more interested in having a flashy gadget. As long as they look cool, then the software can go to the back seat. Anyway, guys, this is this is the Light channel. Got some different merch on today. So we're going to talk about some Valentine's ideas for the technically challenged, or the tech savvy people. Because I know a lot of people in tech, they're brilliant people, but socially inept. So we have to push these ideas out a little bit. So we're going to move on to that. I'm going to switch across to the other camera because it's a bit of fun. Here we go. Oh, it worked. Look at that. I'm impressed. I bet nobody else is. So I'm going to talk about some Valentine's ideas. And, Valentine's Day is coming up. It's on the 14th of February for those that, you're in IT support. You might have your first girlfriend. And you don't have to spend an absolute fortune on Valentine's Day. Me and my partner we've been together 12 years in February. I think it was the 17th we actually got together officially. And she's going to correct me. She's watching, I can see, so she might correct me in the chat in a sec. and say it wasn't the 17th. But we've been together 12 years in February, and we've had really good times, and we've also had some not so good times where we've perhaps been short of money and things. When we first got together, it was in 2008, and within 6 months, I mean, I was working crazy hours with the company I was with, and my partner said to me, look, if you're going to do these stupid hours, why the hell aren't you working for yourself and doing it for yourself? And we thought about the idea, and we kicked it around a bit. And eventually, 6 months into the relationship, we were living together, and we ended up starting the business. My partner, I had to give up my job to concentrate on the business, to be there for the support calls and things like that. So my partner diligently worked for the next 4 or 5 years just to keep us, to pay the rent and keep the house and feed us and all the rest of it. But the thing is, she'd go to work, and then she'd come home and she'd start again, because we had admin to do, we had paperwork to do, we had invoicing to do, and I could do the technical bit out on the road. I could meet the customers, I could bring the business in. Well, eventually I could bring the business in, but the actual business part of it, I had no idea. And, thank God she was there, because she really helped me out and, helped us out. And without her, I don't think we'd be anywhere near where the success that we've had with the business now. And it's only just now, and we're 11 years in, going into our 12th year trading, where we're starting to see the benefits from having our own business. And, it's, at the end of the day, it's paid for all this kit. And, we're sort of slowly getting there now. But yeah, we've had some good Valentines, but some of the Valentines have just been a meal at home, or they've just been a very simple card exchange and things like that. We get it from my parents, because my parents have always said to me all the way while I've been growing up, it's more important to be good to each other throughout the whole year than having one day where you go out your way to be good to each other, and 365 other days where it's just you're just getting on with it. So that's our philosophy anyway. I'm going to share with you a couple of funny stories, and I do apologise to my current partner, but I'm going to talk about my first and second wives. So my first Valentine's Day with my first wife, we just got married, and I said to her, "What do you want for Valentine's Day?" I was 20, I didn't have a clue what to get her, and she said, "Well, I don't really want anything, but think of something practical." Okay, well, practical I can do. Anyway, that week at work, on her way to work, she had a flat tyre, and I got called out. I had to go and change the tyre for her because she couldn't undo the wheel nuts. You can see where this is going. I think that camera's just died. Sorry about that. I've been having some real problems with this GoPro. I think I might have to exchange it and get it sent back to GoPro. Anyway, so she had this flat tyre going to work. I went out, changed the tyre, and she said to me, "Get me something practical for Valentine's Day." Fantastic. I got it spot on. In one of the catalogues, I spotted an extending wheel brace, so she could take her own nuts off the wheel. But that didn't go down well. The most expensive Valentine's Day I've ever had was with my second wife. And the reason it was expensive might not be what you're thinking. Basically, at Christmas, I found out that she was, before Christmas, I kind of knew it all the way along. I was just a bit, I discovered that she wasn't being exactly the perfect wife. So for Valentine's Day, she got a beautiful Valentine's card, and in it was this poem: "Roses are red, these papers are white. We're getting divorced because you're pure." You can fill in the blank yourself. But so I've put together some ideas, and I just want to go over a few bits. And I'm going to start with the guys that might watch this, because I know some people just really struggle for ideas when it comes to Valentine's Day. And like I say, it doesn't even have to be expensive. There's plenty of things out there that you can buy if that's what you want. But why don't you make something? We've had some fantastic Valentine's Days where we've just exchanged homemade gifts. One idea that I did have was you could do something as simple as get a little, for the technically minded, a little USB flash drive and fill it up with all the pictures and videos and, poems and things from the time you've been together. And that might be it would remind her of you because you're technical. It's a technical little gift, but it's filled with memories, and you can spend the evening, perhaps over a dinner that you've cooked, going through all these memories on a laptop. It might be a nice way to spend an evening. Oh, I've completely lost my train of thought there. Of course, if you really love her, you can get her some Just Roops merch from the store. But think about what she does. If she's a YouTuber, perhaps, there's lots of things out there for YouTube. And one of the really good things, if she's a live streamer and she's into her gaming, I'm going to disturb the feed again. This thing is what we use to control our live stream with, and it enables us to change all of the different camera angles and scenery in OBS and things like that. So if she is a streamer, they're about £100, somewhere around about that mark. But we use that every live stream, and it's worked perfectly. On that note, I still haven't changed the USB 3 card in the PC. It's still bleeping at me. So if you hear some strange noises or something goes off, it's probably due to that. So the other thing I thought of was Nintendo have got out this Nintendo Switch. Now, it's basically like a Wii, but it's a handheld version. You can still plug it into the TV and use it, but you can use it handheld as well. And that might be a nice, fun Valentine's evening to spend the evening competing against each other, doing something together with this Nintendo Switch. I just wanted to say a couple of bits. At Christmas, I bought my partner a Michael Kors handbag. I know. She didn't even want one. And it's not really her thing, but I was a bit stuck for ideas, so I thought I'll go to Michael Kors. I happened to be in Milton Keynes because I was working locally. And I went into the shop, and I'd just like to say that the girls in the shop were incredibly helpful, and they got it absolutely spot on. I literally went in there, hello, I'm a clueless bloke. I've got some cash and I need to get my partner a Christmas present. Please help. And they went through with me and sort of said, well, what does she like? What's her style? Does she like big bags? Does she like small bags? Does she like perfume? Does she like shoes? Does she like the... And we eventually found a wallet. And I was a bit skeptical because I saw it and I thought, it's a bit blingy for her because she doesn't like, things with bling on them. But the woman said, look, it's officially, it doesn't come out till Monday, but we had it in the shop. Great. And that was, so I bought it. And I wasn't convinced it was the right thing, but I gave it to her anyway. Here's a gift for you. The gift receipt's in it when you want to take it back. And she loved it. The girls in the shop got it absolutely spot on. And that then led me for the next event. I can't remember what the next event was. I think that was for her birthday. And then for Christmas, I went back and I was able to buy... I got the wallet for her birthday, and then at Christmas I went and bought her the bag that matched. So, happy girlfriend. And so if you are clueless and you really don't know what, you've got no fashion sense, go and see any of the big shops will be the same, but particularly Michael Kors, because the girls in there were just so helpful. I really can't say enough about them. If you want to go overboard and you really are convinced that you're with the one, then another good present that I've managed to get my partner in the past, and they got a price tag that will make your eyes water, is Louboutin. But you do have to be careful I made sure I went to Selfridges in London to get her ones. You need to know her shoe size. And you should know that anyway, guys, come on. But if you don't buy them from a high street shop, and there are hundreds and hundreds available on eBay, but what I have found talking to people is that the marketplace is absolutely rife with fakes. So if you do buy from eBay, you need to be 100% certain that what you're getting is actually real. Unfortunately, a lot of people are out there to rip you off. And some of the copies are really, really good. So my advice would be, go to the shop to a high street well-known retailer and actually buy them there, which is what I did. And again, my partner was, I think, quite happy with them. She might mention something in the chat at some point, but she's only worn them once because, okay, for guys who don't know, Louboutins are the ones that have the red sole at the bottom. And I spoke to quite a few of my other friends' wives and girlfriends and things, because I wasn't sure whether to go with Louboutin or Jimmy Choo. They're two big shoe manufacturers. They both cost an absolute fortune. I mean, it's not something that you'd buy every day. And the advice I got back was from everybody, don't buy Jimmy Choo because when you put them on, they just look like a pair of shoes. And it turns out that because Louboutins took out a lawsuit to protect the red sole on the bottom of their shoes, when you wear Louboutins, everyone can see that they're Louboutins because of the red sole. Whereas with Jimmy Choo, they could be from, any height, they could be any manufacturer once you've put them on. It's not obvious what they are. So, that's what you want. If you do go for Louboutins and you need, I say, watch out for fakes, go to a high street store, but also be aware because they do loads of different heel sizes and you can get half sizes in the actual shoe size as well. So you need to know exactly what size your partner is and what size heel they like to wear normally, because some of them, they basically go from, very small heels right up to ridiculous stripper kind of heels. But yeah, well worth. I think they're worth the money anyway. Girls, if you're watching, for guys, well, anything really. I mean, we're pretty easy to please, to be honest. I've had some fantastic Valentine's presents off my partner over the years. But the ones I like the most are the sort of, you get these little, Debenhams do them, and if you go into Debenhams on the second floor in Milton Keynes, I don't know about I'm sure other Debenhams are available, you'll find these little, they do a lot of little electronic games and little things you can play with, and that's for a guy. I mean, guys love things that they can play with. If you want to step up from that, again, the Nintendo Switch for a guy. I mean, what guy's not going to like getting a video games console? There's the Switch, the Xbox, the PlayStation. If you do buy any of those, make sure you get a game with it. There's nothing worse than unwrapping a console and, what are we going to play with? There's actually no games in it. So make sure you get the game as well. If you buy the Xbox or the PlayStation, they only come with one controller. So if you want to play with your partner on Valentine's Day, you're going to have to buy an extra controller as well, or take it in turns. The Switch is really good because, like I say, you can play together as well, which is pretty neat. So that's just what I wanted to go through really on that. In the channel news, we've got the merch store up and running. We've got a broken GoPro. Actually, let's just try and let's see if that's going to come on again. Let's switch across. Oh, we've got something going on. Let's see what happens. And we'll go back to it in a sec when it's actually powered up. There we go, we're back. So, in the channel news, we've got a half-broken GoPro. Not much has changed really. We did a quick video upload earlier on in the week on the other channel, which is ITMK Limited. So if you're not subscribed to that as well, subscribe to that. I'll show you some new kit that's come in over the last few days. Last few months. We've got the Canon DSLR, which is the one that we're going to be using for the not for the live stream, but for the pre-recorded videos. We've got the Rode mic on it. So this, that comes off. That's the Rode microphone, the video mic, and then that's the DSLR camera. It does do 4K, so we're going to play with that. Apparently the 4K is not very good though, but what we've got it for is the 1080p, because apparently it's a fantastic camera in 1080p. It also complements the other camera that we've got, which is the other Canon. We've got an EOS M100 what we use for the outside stuff. We're going to be doing some more not live stream, but we're going to be doing some recorded stuff outside So I'm going to be getting the Canons out and the Nikon as well. We've got a Nikon D34. So we're going to go out and actually try some outside stuff and just test that kit outside and make sure it all works with the new microphone. Hopefully it will all be good. I had a bit of an epiphany this week, getting into the video stuff again. I've always had decent cameras kicking around. The Nikon I've had for years. But my dad was a semi-professional photographer. He did a lot of various photography projects. He ended up working at another place, but one of his passions was photography, and I'd kind of always messed around with photographic equipment, but never really got to grips with it properly. And the last couple of weeks, because of the video stuff that's going on here, I thought I really must start going through an online course and learning a bit more about photography. Anyway, I had a bit of an epiphany when it comes to aperture, because I didn't realise that you could adjust the aperture, and instead of just letting more light into the camera, which is how my dad explained it, the f-stops, the aperture, actually controls the depth of field, which for me was an epiphany, because it suddenly everything just fell into place. So I'm going to be going out next week and actually taking some digital photography of various bits and pieces. I'm going to put that together in a little project, a little video project, and we'll post that up on the YouTube. But I think what we'll do is we'll premiere it in next week's episode of the live stream. So hopefully that will be quite a fun thing to do. As you can see, I don't know if you can see up here, actually, we've got this whole windowsill here is just full of different digital cameras. I think there's 4 SLRs, 2 bridges and 1 compact. So, and that's not including the GoPros that are up here, and the other GoPro that's in the box over there, and the other Canon mirrorless that's in the car waiting to do the outside stuff. So the YouTube certainly gets hold of you. Anyway, I think that's it. So next week, guys, we're going to be doing some photography, or showing you some photography that I've done with the various cameras up there, and we'll do a bit of a history, because we've got an old Nikon, and we've got a new Nikon, so we can compare the two. We've got a Canon in the Canon range. We've now got the Canon Compact, we've got the Canon mirrorless, and the Canon DSLR. So we'll do a bit of a back-to-back comparison from them with the same image, just taken through different cameras, perhaps at different f-stops as well, and we'll try and do some stuff that way. I was trying to bend my partner's ear to come on the show tonight, but she didn't feel up to it. She's a bit camera shy, so we're going to keep working on that and try and get her on at some point, if for nothing else, just to prove I have a girlfriend. But in fact, look, that's news. We got engaged. That was a few weeks ago. But yeah, that's probably the best decision I've made, well, in the last 10 years, I should think, and just in time for Valentine's Day. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this post Wednesday, we live stream every Wednesday at 7:30, and we're going to keep plugging away at this until we get somewhere. We're trying to get AdWords, Google Ads, up and running. Well, I'm in contact with Google at the minute. I've actually been on the phone to them most of the afternoon trying to get our adverts approved. What a minefield that is. But you might start seeing some of our videos in the searches at the side on the YouTube bar once we get those approved. So what we're going to try and do is roll the adverts each week. So when we post up a new video or a new live stream, we'll advertise that one and try and get more and more people onto the channel. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one, and yeah, best of luck through the rest of the week. Don't forget, upgrade your Windows 7.